Okay, so you know those two little words, YouTube monetization.
Yeah.
It can feel like a
Huge.
huge milestone, right? And you're probably either right there on the edge of it or maybe looking at that list of requirements and thinking,
Oh.
where do I even begin?
It's a lot.
Right. It's a lot to take in.
It is.
So that's what we're going to try to unpack a bit for you today.
Yeah, we're diving deep into that.
We're going to do a deep dive into exactly what you need
The essential documents you need.
to successfully monetize on YouTube
In 25.
in 2025.
Yes, very important.
Very important because things change
They do.
all the time.
Constantly.
So we found a YouTube video that we thought was really, really helpful.
Very.
And it is called Before Getting Monetized 2025 YouTube Document Update.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, it's a mouthful.
Vibe with Sonia.
By Vibe with Sonia.
Yeah.
And so she's basically giving her advice and her understanding of what you need right now.
From experience.
From her experience.
Which is really useful.
To actually have monetized.
Yeah, to actually have gone through it.
Exactly.
So, it's not just theoretical. It's like,
right.
These are the things that I needed
exactly
to make it work.
And she is based in Nigeria. So a lot of the things she's talking about are specific to Nigeria, but I think they're generalizable to pretty much everyone.
Pretty much.
So that's what we're going to go over today. And hopefully this will kind of take away some of the stress of like, what do I need to do to get ready for this?
Make it easy for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, break it down.
Yeah. So she starts off with something that seems really, really basic.
Your name.
Your name.
Yes.
But this is a huge point where people mess up.
Absolutely. It needs to be absolutely consistent.
Consistent across.
All your documents.
Everything.
YouTube account details, bank account, like
everything. Everything.
Yeah. So she gives an example like Fatai versus Faye.
Yeah, it needs to be exact. Exactly.
Spelling, no abbreviations, nothing.
No.
And also an important distinction to make.
This is important.
Is that your channel name?
Yes.
That's separate.
Is different.
From your legal name.
It is, yes.
So the name that's going to be on all the paperwork is not necessarily your
channel name.
Channel name. Exactly. Some people might have, like a business name or something like that.
Right.
It needs to be your legal name on the documents.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's really key.
Okay, so next up is the tax identification number, or TIN.
Right.
So for anyone who's not familiar, what is that and why is it so important?
So essentially, a TIN is your identification number for tax purposes.
Okay.
Right. So YouTube, as a platform that, facilitates making money, they need to comply with tax regulations in all the different countries.
Right.
So they need your TIN number to be able to do that.
Got it.
So it's kind of like your social security number in the U.S. or a similar thing in different countries.
Right.
It's basically your tax ID.
Right. Okay. So she recommends going directly to the Federal Inland Revenue Service office or the FIRS office to get this.
To get it officially.
Officially.
Yes.
And she's specifically talking about, if you're in Nigeria, she talks about getting hers in Kwara State in Proto. But you can get it in any state.
I imagine so.
In Nigeria.
Yeah.
And she specifically says, don't use online TIN generation services.
Yeah, that can get a bit messy.
Wow.
Because you might end up going to the office anyway to sort it out.
Yeah, you might as well just go there.
In the first place, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Save yourself the hassle.
And she mentions it was around 3,000 Naira.
Yeah.
3 years ago.
A while ago.
So
it's changed.
It's probably changed, but at least it gives you some kind of ballpark.
Yeah, ballpark idea. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, next is your bank verification number, or BVN.
Okay, so your BVN is basically a biometric identification number. So it's unique to you.
Okay.
And it's used within the Nigerian banking system.
Okay.
And essentially, it's there to link your identity to your bank account details.
Got it.
So it just makes sure that everything is secure.
Okay.
And that your payments go to the right place.
Yeah.
And she really emphasizes that having a BVN is fundamental.
Yeah.
Like, you need it.
Like, no BVN.
No money.
Pretty much.
All right, so then we have the National Identification Number, or NIN.
So similar to the BVN and the TIN, this is another unique national identification number.
Right.
And again, she really emphasizes that YouTube doesn't joke around
with NIN.
With the NIN.
Yeah.
It's essential.
Yeah.
You need to have it.
And how do you get that?
So you can get that at any National Identity Management Commission Center.
Okay.
Or an NIMC center.
NIMC center.
Yes.
Okay.
So
another thing to tick off your list.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so let's talk about bank accounts. Yes, the money part.
The money part.
The exciting part.
So she really recommends opening a dollar account.
She does, yes.
Why is that?
So this is actually really smart, and it kind of relates to, you know how exchange rates can fluctuate?
Okay.
So if you have your YouTube earnings paid in US dollars into a dollar account, you could potentially benefit from like better exchange rates when you then go to withdraw that money or convert it into your local currency.
So what she's saying is the official like Naira to dollar exchange rate that your bank gives you might not be as good as what you might be able to get.
Yeah, elsewhere.
Elsewhere.
On the black market, she even mentioned.
Right.
At the time of her video.
Yeah, so having a dollar account basically gives you more control over that exchange rate.
Yeah, you can kind of shop around a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, you need to make sure that the name on your dollar account
is exactly the same.
Matches everything else.
Matches all the other documents.
All the other documents, exactly.
Yeah, right, because if it doesn't match.
That's going to cause problems.
Big problems.
Yeah, big problems.
Delays.
Delays.
Or maybe even...
Yeah, you might not get your money.
Not get your money.
At all.
And another really good point that she makes is to make sure that if you need to change the name on any of your documents...
Yes.
Do it before
you start the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, because trying to do that...
In the middle of it.
While it's all going through...
Sounds like a nightmare.
Is a recipe for disaster.
Nightmare, yeah.
Yeah.
She also mentions that opening a dollar account sometimes involves an initial deposit.
Yes.
She said she put in $50.
Yeah, a while ago.
So be aware of that as well.
Yeah, there might be some upfront costs involved.
Right. Okay, so the AdSense account.
This is important.
This is important.
And she has some very, very specific advice about what not to do.
Yes.
So
do not create
an AdSense account before you hit
1,000 subscribers.
1,000 subscribers.
And 4,000 watch hours.
4,000 watch hours.
And receive an invitation to apply.
Yes. You need to wait for that invitation.
So why is that so important?
Because it can really mess things up.
How so?
If you create an AdSense account prematurely, you know, you might accidentally create multiple accounts. You might forget that you created one like 5 years ago.
Right.
And then linking the correct AdSense account to your YouTube channel becomes really difficult.
Yeah.
And resolving these issues with like multiple accounts and forgotten accounts can be a real pain.
Okay.
A real pain.
So just wait.
Just wait.
Until you get that email from YouTube.
Exactly.
Saying you're eligible.
You're eligible, now you can apply.
Now apply and then create the AdSense account.
Exactly.
And she also recommends creating a brand new dedicated email address.
Yes.
Just for the AdSense account.
Just for AdSense, yeah.
Yeah, so why is that?
So it's a good security measure. If for some reason one account gets compromised, then you know at least the other one is safe.
Right.
And it also just helps to keep things separate and organized, so you're not getting all these emails in your main inbox.
I'm stuck. Yeah,
exactly.
So, okay, moving on to something kind of old school.
The postal office.
The postal office.
Yes.
Because you still need to get something in the mail.
You do.
To get this all squared away.
It's true.
So she's really emphasizing the importance of having a physical address.
A real address.
A real address.
Not a P.O. box.
Not a P.O. box.
Yeah.
So you can receive this Google AdSense PI.
Yes. So once you've applied for monetization, and you've been approved, Google will send you a physical PI number in the mail to the address that you've registered with your AdSense account. And you need to enter that PI to verify your address. It's a security measure. And it's a necessary step before you can actually receive any payments.
Got it. Okay. And her advice here is to check with your local post office before you even get to this point. To make sure that they actually receive Google AdSense mail.
This is really good advice because depending on where you are in the world, some postal services are more reliable than others. So you want to make sure that you're actually going to get that P in.
And what happens if you don't get it?
So she does say that you can typically request for the PN to be resent. I think she said up to 3 times. And there's usually an alternative online verification option as well. If you never receive the physical PM.
So there are backup options.
There are backups.
But it's good.
Good to try and get it right the first time.
Yeah.
Save yourself the hassle.
Okay, so another very important thing that seems really basic but is important.
Address consistency.
Address consistency.
Yeah.
So the address
you provide
needs to be the same.
Needs to be the same.
On every single document.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, any little discrepancies can cause delays.
Okay, so moving on to the ID card.
Yeah.
What kind of identification do you need?
So generally, YouTube accepts like a variety of government-issued photo ID.
Okay.
So things like your voter's card, your international passport,
okay,
a resident permit if you're living in another country,
okay,
or a driver's license.
Okay.
So pretty standard kind of photo ID.
Right.
And she has a really interesting story, actually. She said she got an international passport specifically for her YouTube verification.
Wow.
Because she didn't have her voter's card at the time.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, she said it was really effective.
Oh, wow.
So
I never would have even thought of that.
It's a good idea if you don't have, any other form of ID. Like a passport is widely accepted internationally.
And also lasts for a while. You're not going to have to renew it every year or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Good to know.
Good to know.
So finally,
your signature.
The signature seems simple but important.
It is important.
So what's her advice on signatures?
She says, make sure your signature is your full legal name.
Yeah.
Exactly as it appears on your documents.
Yeah.
Again, consistency is key.
Consistency is key.
Yeah.
Don't get fancy.
No.
Don't use a nickname.
No.
Just sign
your
full legal name.
Exactly.
Every time.
Every time.
So just to recap quickly, what would you say is like the core message here?
So basically, prepare meticulously.
Okay.
Pay attention to every detail.
Okay.
And make sure that everything is consistent.
Okay.
Across all your documents and account details.
Yeah.
And then you'll have a smooth and successful
monetization process. Exactly.
Yeah.
We hope this has made things feel a little less overwhelming for you.
Yeah, a little less stressful.
Yeah. So thinking about everything we just talked about, the name consistency, the TIN, the BVN, the NIN, your dollar bank account, being patient with the AdSense account, checking with the post office address, consistency, having your ID ready, your signature.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Oh.
But what should people be thinking about right now?
So I think now's the time to do a bit of a self-assessment.
Okay.
Have a think about which of these documents you already have, which ones you need to get.
Okay.
And if there's any discrepancies in the information on those documents, maybe you've moved house and you haven't updated your address, things like that.
Right.
And just make a note of any questions that you have about your specific situation.
Yeah, good advice. So one last thought for you all to chew on as you're going through this process.
Yes.
It's not just about checking boxes.
It's an investment.
It's an investment in your YouTube journey.
In your future success.
Exactly.
It shows that you're dedicated.
You're serious. You're a professional.
That you're a professional,
Yeah, and that you're ready to,
take it to the next level.
Take it seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good luck. You got this.
I hope so.
I think you do.
Okay.
Right.
We'll see you in the next deep dive.
See you later.